Hello everyone. The Gauteng Health MEC Nomantu Nkomo has admitted that Hangwani Morgan Maumela is a relative of President Cyril Ramaphosa and was actually a beneficiary of multi-million tenders issued illegally of Tembisa Hospital and various other hospitals in the province. Nomantu made the shocking revelation in her written reply to the spokesperson Jack Bloom in the provincial legislature. In his questions to Nomantu, Bloom was under the impression that Maumela's 12 companies only benefited a mere 36 million rands, but was shocked after she revealed that it scored contracts worth 381 million rands in the last 3 years from Gauteng public hospitals. Jack had asked her about contracts awarded to 12 companies that got 36 million rands from Tembisa Hospital last year. The late Babita Tikorana, who was shot and murdered last year because she refused to process some payments, she had identified those tenders as fraudulent as well as other suspicious payments totaling 850 million rands. It was reported in the media that these companies were linked to the Maumela family. Hangwani is a director of 9 of those companies, while a relative heads of the other 3. All the contracts were under 500,000 rands and were therefore signed off by the Tembisa Hospital CEO instead of going out to tender processes. It has now been revealed that the Gauteng Health Department paid a total amount of 381.4 million rands to these 12 companies from April 2019 to date. Of this amount, 356 million rands came from Tembisa Hospital, 22 million rands Mamelodi Hospital, and 2.4 million rands from a number of other hospitals. Much of this amount was for medical products, but Nomantu admitted that none of the listed companies have SA Health Products Regulatory Authority approval for the sale of medical products, and she blamed inadequate processes and oversight. At various times, some of these companies were not tax compliant or were deregistered for a period. They don't look like serious companies that provide real products of decent prices. He went on to say, from available information, it appears that 7 of Maumela's 9 companies operate from a single unit in a certain residential estate. It's very suspicious that none of the hundreds of contracts awarded are over the amount of 500,000 rands, which will require tender processes instead of the CEO signing off on them. Nomantu Nkomo said that after a number of assessments, it was noted that the process followed could not detect split billing and some compliance issues. When Bloom asked what was being done about the irregularities, she said lamely the department has now improved the internal controls at the supply chain management process in ensuring that there are reviews to identify split billing and non-compliance through checklists. Maumela has been identified as a central figure in the Tembisa Hospital purchases last year that Babita flagged, scoring 36 million rands in contracts 1 month alone. He also said ties to Bejani Chauke, who is Ramaphosa's principal political advisor. They are neighbors in a plush Hyde Park Joburg complex within working distance of Ramaphosa's private residence. Bloom also said the SIU, which is Special Investigating Unit, is already investigating the splash of Tembisa Hospital payments last year, but needs to extend its probe to all payments made to Maumela's fishy companies. Ramaphosa should authorize this by proclamation if he is serious about cleaning up all corruption in the Gauteng Health Department. They need to know whether the products supplied were actually delivered and were of good value. Bloom also added that he suspected that millions of rand that should have provided decent services to hospital patients were wasted. It is utterly deplorable that the new health MEC is not blacklisting companies that are seemingly non-compliant with legal requirements. She admits that there were serious irregularities but doesn't commit to any sanction against these companies or these errant officials and will be pressing her to do so. He also stated that he will be writing to regulators to investigate whether Maumela's companies were illegally authorized to sell medical products, adding tough action was needed to root out the rot in this department, not weak promises to do better in future. This is really disgusting. They are charging the tax money that is supposed to go to the hospitals and help sick people. Ramaphosa, Mr. Palapala, and his relative are taking this country down the drain. What's your take on this one, people? Thanks for watching. Please subscribe for more news.